For lesson 3, what we're going to study is fractions to percents. Now, in order to get something to be converted from a fraction to percent, what we have to look at is what this fraction overall means. So if we look at this fraction, let's say I have 1 over 2, that really means 1 divided by 2, right? Now, when we go and change that, you're going to get something like 0.5. And then in order to change a decimal into percent, what do you have to do? We did this before. We times everything by 100 to get 50%. So now let's go and do that same thing to this. So let's take a look at question number 1. Question number 1, we start with, well, 3 over 5. And when we have 3 over 5, what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, this is equal to, well, we're going to turn it into a percentage. So we take 3 divided by 5, we write that out, and then we times that by 100. And we get our final answer. Punch that in your calculator, 3 divided by 5. That is the mathematical sequence that we can use. 3 divided by 5 times 100, and we end up with 60. But remember, this is turning it into a percent. Remember, this 100 here turns it into a percent. So now let's do the same for 4 divided by 20. Try this out on your own and we'll check to see if we get the same answer. So now that's equal to 4 divided by 20, but now we've got a decimal, so we're going to have to times that by 100 to make it a percent, which equals, it would say 20 on your calculator, but we remember, because we're multiplying by 100, this means it's 20%. Now, you try 66 out of 100, okay? Do your calculation and then pause the video first, then do your calculation, then we'll see what you get. So now you punch that in, you're going to get 66 divided by 100 times 100, which gives us 60, but we need to say it's percent because we multiplied by 100, because we're saying it's 60 out of 100. Now let's do the last one. So we have 25 divided by 120. Let's go. Pause the video and we'll do the problem together. So that's 25 divided by 120 times 100. And then we should get an answer. And now your final answer is 20.8. Okay? You usually can use this, leave this to be either 20.8 or you could write 20.83%. And both of those would be considered acceptable. Or if I ever told you to put it as a whole number, you would write this as 21%. Okay, we're done. The questions that you need to do will be right after this video in our lesson 1.7.